after today, and Jamie Moyer having to face Frank Thomas, who hits the towering fly ball and showing why he has the nickname Big Hurt. Number 19 for Thomas, 3-zip Sox. Same score in the bottom of the fourth. Cal Ripken facing McDowell. Turning on this one, McDowell says it's lucky he doesn't have to pitch in Camden Yards every day. He's a fly ball pitcher. They can get hurt in that ballpark. They cut the lead to 3-2. Moyer would settle down in the fifth, fooling Thomas. 5 Ks through 4+. But then he walked the bases loaded in the fifth, and Bo Jackson makes him pay. The base hit, scoring Grebeck and Ellis Burks. It's 5-2 Chicago. Still the same score in the seventh when Thomas crushes the Todd Frohwith pitch. The second tater of the day for the Big Hurt. Sox up 7-2. They eventually win it 11-5. So Thomas to the break with 20 home runs. He has 5 RBI at this point. Ozzie Guillen also homered. The Sox lead at the break for the first time since '84 when they won the West and played Baltimore in the ALCS. Red Sox and A's in Oakland. Scoreless game in the second. Terry Steinbach with the signs. Bobby Witt on the mound. The wild pitch scores Dawson. The Red Sox jump out and top 1-zip. It's 2-zip in the fourth. Bases loaded. Mike Bordick. The base hit off Darwin. Steinbach and Aldretti score. Bordick nailed it second, though. Ties the game at 2 there. In the seventh, 2 gone. Scott Fletcher. One of his 3 hits over the outstretched Bordick. Carlos Quintana chugs around. 3-2 Bo Sox. In the bottom of the ninth, same score with 2 outs. Jeff Russell pitching. Tying run on first. And Bordick grounds meekly back to the box. Russell, save number 20. Red Sox go to the break on a bright note after blowing some games out west. 3-2 was the final. Again, that's the 20th save for Russell, and Fletcher goes to the break hot. He scored 5 runs in the series. Since Roger Clemens went on the DL, the Red Sox are 14-5. They've gained 9 games on the lead. Aaron Seeley, the young phenom, a big reason for that ERA of 3.02. The Red Sox bats also producing almost 6 runs a game in those 19 games. The Mariners go to the break with a 5-game winning streak. They beat the Indians 5-4-11. Mark Newfield 3 for 4 after going 1 for his first 15 in the majors. In County Stadium, the Twins and the Brewers. Willie Banks facing Kevin Reimer. 2 on in the first. And Reimer takes him out and gone. Number 13, in early trouble for Banks. 3-1 Brewers. Brewers defense, though, saving the game in the 3rd inning. Shane Mack, the fly to right. Darrell Hamilton back, drifting back, leaping just before he hits the pad. His wrist was okay, but wait, there's more. Kent Herbeck, the pop-up. B.J. Surhoff, the catch as he almost falls in the dugout. Twins come back. Jesse Orozco in relief, and Brian Harper pinch hit, base hit to left. Scores Puckett. 5-3 Brewers. It's 5-4 in the ninth with Doug Henry in. Shakes off the sign. Probably wasn't a good idea. Puckett, the shot deep to right, but look at Darrell Hamilton. Another amazing catch to save the game for Henry. Almost blows the save, but comes up with save number 16. Reimer, 388, 5 RBI in the series. Keith?
Back in the National, if you're a Braves fan, you cling to these numbers like a life raft. 1992 at the All-Star break, Atlanta 49 up, 37 down, 2 games out of first. They win the division by 8. 1991 at the All-Star break, Atlanta 39 up, 40 down, 9.5 games out of first. They win the division by 1. 1993, the best they could hope for at the All-Star break, Atlanta 50 up, 39 down, 9 games out of first. Pursuing that in the evening at Miami, Greg Maddux facing the man who 2 weeks ago was a high desert maverick, Carl Everett. Gets him on strikes in the first. This is Carl again in the third. And this will be Carl one more time in the seventh. He strikes out 1/3 of the Maddux total of 9. Top of the sixth, Braves up 4-1 against Richie Lewis. David Justice, boy, he hit this one fairly well. Number 20 for Dave, and the Braves go up 5-1. Bottom of the sixth, Marlins get 2 to make it 5-3. Runners on second and third with 2 out. Greg Maddux to Henry Cotto off the end of the bat and into right field. Nice catch, Dave Justice. It was Dave Justice night. Braves go on to win 6-3. The Floridians have now dropped 8 of 9. They were a game under 500. Now they're 13 below. And get Jeff Blauser. At the All-Star break last year, he was hitting .222. It's like room 222. Now he's hitting .311. The Blouse. So the Braves are actually in better shape, 50-39, than they were the last 2 seasons. But as Dave Justice pointed out yesterday, a comeback this year will be more difficult because of the National League's balanced schedule. Nothing on the Dodgers in the 6th. Tim Wallach against Doc Gooden. Up the middle, past the Met infielders. Piazza scores. We're tied at 1 in the 8th against Eric Davis. Whammo. I don't think it's playable, Chris. A solo shot, his 9th home run. The Dodgers win 2-1, and Gooden falls to 8-9. Meantime, Pedro Martinez, Ramon's little brother, has his 5th straight victory. Davis goes 3 for 4 in the night. Jim Gott has the last 5 outs, his 16th save. Meanwhile, at Wrigley Field, Mark Portugal for the Houston Astros. The Astros stymieing the Cubs all the way, and these are some of the reasons. Ken Caminiti robs Ryne Sandberg. Cubs up 1-0. Greg Hibbard now flirting with a no-hitter through 5. Top of the 6th, though, Andujar Cedeno had singled before. Craig Biggio grounds to Eric Yelding, who throws it into right field. Cedeno's running. Candy Maldonado has adventures in right field. Candy manages to stand up. Cedeno scores from first. Biggio goes to third. 2 errors in the play. We're tied at 1, and 3 batters later, 2 men on base. Caminiti to left field corner. Biggio scores slowly. Jose Vizcaíno can't make the throw. Bagwell scores. Everybody fell down in this game. 3-1 Astros. Cubs certainly fell down. 3 out of 4 for the Stros, who go to the break a dozen out. Garb, that was turned back the clock last year. You remember what happened with Rob Dibble in the 61 uniform. I don't have any explanation for this at all. Fan control, I don't understand it. Andy Van Slyke in the mood. These are the 25 Pirate uniforms. Jeff King pops up in 1993 fashion. Joe Oliver, torn between 2 eras. Costly miscue because 4 pitches later, King singles. Runners at first and second. Davey Johnson playing the role of Pat Moran of the 1919 Reds. Rob Dibble in one of those blessed old uniforms again with the bases loaded. Walks Don Slaught to score Will Pennyfeather. He doesn't rip it off this time. It'll be a souvenir for somebody else. Pirates win it 3-2 right after the game. After Pennifield walked home with the winning run, they sent him to the minors. Thanks to the non-relief, Jose Rio remains winless since the 22nd of May, and Larkin hit a home run, meaning he's now hit one. See, it would happen. The walk, though, would backfire. Here's the shot. Dave Martinez puts one beyond the reach of Incaviglia in left. Grounds rule doubled. Aaron Lewis scores. Giants 1-0. The next hitter is Royce Clayton, who's been eating the Phillies alive. Inside out, one into center field to score Bonds, to score Martinez. Clayton with 15 RBI in 8 games against the Phillies this year. Top of the 4th, 2 outs, runners at first and third. Now Bonds, they don't walk him, and they pay for it. High off the center field wall, Lewis scores. The ex-Philly Steve Scarsoni scores. Giants 5-1, top of the 7th. Paul Ferris of San Francisco, line drive. The adventures of Wes Chamberlain in right field. Clayton scores. Ferris with the triple. Giants win 10-2. Phil's management is upset. Okay. Brian Hickerson solves one of the problems, perhaps. An effective hot Armando Reynoso. And this was the best hit that the Cardinals had all day off of him. Eric Pappas, the bat was fair, the ball was foul. Armando looked pretty good, and he bat danced pretty well. Bob Tewksbury looked pretty good, except he could not get the ball away from the bat of Gerald Clark, who goes 3 for 4, including this line drive over the head of Bernard Gilkey. 1-0 Rockies as Hayes scores. Bottom of the 8th, the Cards have cut the lead to 2-1. Ozzie Smith's on first with a potential tying run. He takes off. Danny Schaefer, veteran minor league catcher, nails the Wizard. The Rockies will go on 4-1 win, and they lose 2 of 3, the Cards do in Colorado. Had they swept the Rocks, they would have been 3 out of first. Instead, they are 5. Steve Reed, who had the minor league record of 43 saves last year, gets the first of his brief big league career. At Stade Olympique, the Padres and the Spos, bottom of the 8th. The Expos have come back from a 4-1 deficit. They're up down 4-3 with 2 out. Delino DeShields off Gene Harris. Here comes Greg Colburn. We are tied. Harris then walks Mike Lansing to load the bases, and Marquise Grissom says, let's find the pitcher's glove. They don't get him at first. Jim Riggleman, the Padre manager, is peeved, and well, he should be, because the Expos are up 5-4. 2 out, 1 on in the 9th. Dennis Martinez in relief. Frees it Ricky Gutierrez, and Martinez gets his first major league save since October 10th of 1980. After the game, the Spos sent catcher Tim Laker to the minors, opening up a roster spot. But that apparently does not mean that Martinez is about to be traded for 2 guys, nor is slugger Cliff Floyd about to be called up. Mark Davis made his return to the Padres in this game, gave up a home run. His salary now being shared by KC, Atlanta, Philly, and San Diego.
Von White on first. Roberto Alomar throws his bat to the ball. Dean Palmer, the diving stop at third. Another big day at the plate, a big day with the glove for Palmer. Joe Carter swings at a pitch off the plate. His base hit scores White. Jays jump on top 1-0. But Dave Stewart, he would be haunted by the 2-run homer, and he looks haunted there, doesn't he, in the 2nd inning. Peltier on first. Ivan Rodriguez, the home run. In the 3rd, Julio Franco. Later in the 3rd, Dean Palmer. Yet another long ball for Palmer, number 21 of the year, 99 for the Rangers, and they had a 6-3 lead. But the Jays can also score. Alomar delivers the double on the breaking ball inside the bag. Turner Ward trots home. In the 9th, Dwayne Ward, no relation. The wild pitch Butch Davis comes in, and the Rangers go on to win it 11-6. They complete that 4-game sweep. The Blue Jays lose their 10th in the last 11. Cito Gaston said his team is exhausted. So is its Eastern lead. Palmer's 3 RBI gave him 14 in the last 4 games. The Rangers finished their best road trip in history at 9-2. After an awful month of June, they are now 2 over 500 in second place. Pitching, not great on the trip. When you score more than 7 runs a game, it doesn't have to be. In Anaheim, could it be another heartbreaker for the Yanks? Well, siesta time in Orange County. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Yankees. 1 out. Damian Easley on third. Gary DiSarcina, the base hit to score easily. It ties the game at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Jim Abbott still loved in Anaheim, but a frustrating day for the Yankee. 7 into the 3rd innings, gave up 2 earned runs. Jim, be careful. In the 10th, tied at 2. Steve Howe on to face 1 batter. Bases loaded. Torey Lovullo pops up. Then Steve Farr takes the hill next to face Easley and gets him looking. On to the 11th we go. Bottom half of the inning, 2 outs. Men on second and third. Farr strikes out Chad Curtis. Bottom 14 now, bases loaded, 1 out. Paul Gibson on, and Lovullo 0 for 6 on the day. Make it 1 for 7 with the game-winning RBI. Polonia comes in. Torrey says whoopee. Angels win in 14, 3-2. That makes it an incredible 5 out of 6 wins in their final at-bat. The Yanks lose yet another 1-run game. They end their Western trip at 2-8, but because of Toronto's collapse, still just 1 game out. In Kansas City, the Tigers and the Royals. Dan Gladden hopes to go back to Motown in first place. They'd have to do it against Kevin Apier, who was tough early, striking out Mickey Tettleton on the pitch out of the strike zone. Then Deere, then Livingstone. Career high, tying a career high, 10 Ks for Apier. In the 5th, 1-zip Royals, 2 on, and Tony Phillips. The base hit, Deere scores, so does Livingstone. Tigers up 2-1. Bottom 6, the thunderstorm warning. Brian McRae, the 2-run homer to right. Yes, certain counties in Missouri and Kansas, be careful. Thunderstorms are moving your way. Royals up 3-2 after the thunderstorm warning was over. Kirk Gibson in the 8th. The shot up the middle. What a play by Gagne in the flip. The force, and the Royals win it 6-2. Apier's 10th win, 6th straight, 8th in 9 starts. Not bad for a non-all-star who said he was, quote, bummed about that fact.